part 2. So I'll never forget it. So, you know, they don't want to PET scan your CAT scan because there's so much radiation in those things. They don't want it. And they wanted to go back into the tumor. They meet in rounds. All the doctors, the nurses, it's Danish philosophy. They call it rounds. Everybody meets and they argue your case. They wanted to go in and get another piece of it because they figured Silverman had it wrong. He put in the wrong solution. Now, Carla went in there with me. As you know, Carla was in there. What they called Kevin and Carla, the beautiful Ogden girl. She was incredible. She had it in her breast. She got the same thing, de Nuvo. OS, which is leukemia that presents in tumors, which is always almost a death sentence. A lot of it's because of the misdiagnosis. Kevin and Carla. So they'd argue our case. Fimbo says, we can't go in again. We're going to have to backdoor this original biopsy. They sent it out to labs all over the country trying to get, you know, here, you look at it, you look at it, you look at it. Finally, of all places, University of Nebraska, they got a hit on it. That's what it was. We were right. That YouTube video I found, I was right. My intuitive mind told me so. He was right. Fimbo Peterson. Kevin, if it wasn't for Vincent Hansen, you'd be dead. He figured it out. I talked to the secretary, you know, a long time, years later. She says, he argued with someone, he put so much work into your case. He saved my life. And then I went in there and those Weber State nurses, the nurses in there are the greatest in the world. I don't know how they do it. 85% of people that go in there don't come out. Marshall Jensen, you can look up the case, was in the room next to me. He's the first one to get it. We had to make the decision on the bone marrow transplant the same day. Well, there was a guy named Brian Morris. So Rob, who's a doctor, he's a military doctor. One of the doctor's PAs that pops in. He was one of Steve Jobs' doctors. He told me, Kevin, hey, there's a guy. And the nurses and doctors were talking about this guy. There was a guy who had exactly the same as you. He had had the surgery. He was in here, he fought for months, he broke the record for the attempt. We don't know how he didn't die. They sent him home after a couple rounds, 2-3 rounds of chemo to die, same thing, and he didn't die, he's alive. Do you want me to call him? Yeah, if you would. So he called him, and he came into my room. I'd heard through nurses. His name's Brian Morris. He came in and he told me his story. This is the toughest fucking dude I ever known. He's the only other one we know. Do Nuvo. Survival. They patterned my treatment after his treatment. They say him to die and he didn't die. So I wasn't recovering after 3 rounds of chemo. RCM squared. I used the mush. It was an experimental chemo. My platelets just wouldn't recover. So we got together and I had to make the decision on the bone marrow. I stood right here, right here. They biopsied me. They went into my hip again, which those are wicked bone marrow biopsies. I've had a lot of them. I got scars all over the back of my hips from them. I'm waiting. No call, no call, no call for the results. So I called down there, Dr. Mitchell, she helped me so much, it was unbelievable. What a great doctor. This whole team of doctors from all over the world. The PA says, Kevin, Dr. Mitchell wants to talk to you. I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm going to die. You know, I know, I've been watching everybody. I know this disease like no other. I've watched so many people die from it. I'm right here waiting for the call. And finally she called. You could hear her voice crack. Kevin, we see a tiny flicker in that bone marrow. And it's tiny, but we don't know. But maybe we'll try this without a bone marrow transplant. Let Brian, let's talk about it. So I went down there again, you know, and central line still. Let's pull that central line out. Central line was in me for 9 months. What do you think? We try something different. Or should we do the bone marrow? I prayed about it. I mean, I wrote poems about it. It was intense. The hardest decision I ever made in my life. Bone marrow transplants are like this. They're all or nothing. When they work, they work. The younger you are, the better chance you have. When they don't, they don't. You die. Carla had 2. I was at the San Onofre hearing, fighting with them, sucked up sicker than a dog. Snuck into the reactor, fucking, I was so fucking sick. I got home, how's Carla doing? You don't know, do you? Everybody that was in that unit, everybody, Marshall, her, Nancy, I mean, go on, Judy, I can go on and on, Tracy. Everybody that was in the unit, we became a family. They all died, every one of them. We made the decision not to have the bone marrow transplant, which I knew was a dangerous decision. And I knew I'd have to be intense about this every single day the rest of my life until it came time for one. You know, get as many years under your belt as you can. So Brian, he's out 9 years. It was actually the chemo that gave him cancer. 9 years later, he got cancer in his bone marrow. He had a bone marrow transplant. There's an interview, I'll tag it, he and I together. His son, they're doing half matches now. His son, name Winston, gave him a bone marrow transplant. This dude, middle linebacker for East High School Championship, this guy's the toughest fucking dude I ever fucking met in my life. He is a beast, physically, mentally, tougher than fucking nails. It failed. I was diving through tide pools in California. When I said no on the transplant, that's when I decided to walk the entire coast of California and prove to all these fainting goats. And remember, there's trolls and teams of people that my own government hired to go against me on YouTube. On things. They were attacking me while I'm in critical condition. I'm walking the coast of California dying of leukemia. You know, Rex showed up, New Orleans. He walked with Astro. Astro had the same thing as me, the young physicists. They were out on the Pacific trails on the coast. Astro died on the trail. I just kept going. Documenting tide pools, looking at the ecology, intensely fighting, radically fucking fighting, hardcore every day, all day. Just kept going. I didn't die. My platelets were stuck in the 30s for 2 years. Slowly creeped up. So Brian's bone marrow transplant failed in me. So he held on long enough. There's a new treatment. It's a super stem cell charge for bone marrow transplants that fail. I think if this treatment would have been around, there'd be a lot of people alive. He's only the 4th person to get it. He got it last month from his son. They supercharged. I'm so worried about him. I want sign. I mean, he looked like Death Warndover. I'm like, oh God, I don't know. I talked to him yesterday. They pulled the central line out of him. His platelets have gone from 3 to 80. His bone marrow is producing. He's going to live. So how have I done it? I've been intense, focused, fighting against the fuckers that gave me the cancer, being aware and understanding the Roundup, radio Roundup, Monsanto, fucking nuclear fallout, fucking monsters, the synergy that fucking poisoned me. I fight the fuckers that try to kill me every day. I eat very balanced. I eat a balanced meal every day in the middle of the day. When I'm in PB, I eat at the Mad Bee. You know, I'm not all the way vegetarian, but I'm pretty much, I cheat. I eat some meat. You know, I don't eat much beef. But I'm a juicer. I drink a lot of carrot juice and a lot of beet juice, you know, green juice, organic good juice. The guy who owns the market over here, runs the Kroger's, brings in that Bauhaus organic juice and he discounts it for me. My bill was $1.8 million. I was a millionaire. I forked it all over. It broke me. Almost, I don't know how I didn't lose my house. There was a couple people that supported my activism in the early day. Billy Johnson from Scotland, Michelle Grant. That's all I had. And Billy used to send me $100 or $200 in a book in cash. Michelle would give me, you know, $100 here and there. That's all I had. No public assistance. I don't know how I didn't starve to death. I honestly don't. Traveling, sleeping on park benches, on fucking floors, in fucking, you don't even believe it. You know, and then some other activists came along. You know, Lonnie came along, she, you know, but, you know, some of them had their own agenda, but my intense fight, and we did what we did, you know, and it evolved, and then, you know, over time, I've got a small army that supports this incredible activism, but it's the activism that saved me. I eat a balanced meal every day, in the middle of the day. In the morning, I have coffee. I have some good, clean, organic coffee. I read a lot. My brain just sucks. I read and I read. I go through the internet. You know, I'm looking for local news stations, whatever. You know, I'm intense. I use my creativity, I use my art. I sleep 8 hours a night, exactly 8 hours a night in a very quiet setting. My house is a freaking wreck, a mess, but it's quiet and there's no Wi-Fi in there. No television, no Wi-Fi. It's very quiet. You know, when I sleep in little simple hotels with just a bed. You know, I'm up at sunup. You know, I walk up and down that coast and do my tide pills. I try to emulate the animals and the scene. I understand that we are part of the ecology. I fight for her, she fights for me. I understand that all the angels that died in front of me, they watch out over me. You know, lots of deals got made in that freaking hospital. Not with God, with myself. Let me live, because I know I watch everybody die. It's a 1% survival bracelet. I talked to the doctor that actually made that video in New York. What a gem. That YouTube video saved my life. 14 views. I'm like, oh, I'm right. The pathologist told me I've never had one wrong in my life. I said, you got this one wrong. He since apologized. My own doctor, my own advocate, but I had lots of freaking help along the way. People prayed for me. They did an international prayer seance for me. I stood by the window in 212. People from Gwen Holdenberry and some others organized it. All over the world. There were prayers said for me all over the world simultaneously. People prayed for me. People gave a shit about me. You know, metaphorically. I just kept fighting for the ecology. I went into their face. I went into these hearings. Remember, I'm in critical condition the whole time. I know there's going to come a time it's going to come back. I know that. And hopefully I can hang on long enough to have a bone marrow transplant. And now that this booster's working, maybe I can get lucky like Brian. You know, but Carla died, Paul died, Tracy died, Judy died, Marshall Jensen. I'm friends with his little boy and his wife. He was only 27 years old. KSL did a big party. He's the first one to ever get the HIV, MD Anderson in Philadelphia. They didn't do anything. You Google him, oh, Marsh Jensen's first one to get hey, videos of him all over the room. He's in the room next to me. We made the decision the same day. He was the greatest. What an intense, beautiful fighter. He died. But I understand the treatment's working. Talk about a pioneer. He gave his life. That's how I've done it. I fight back against who fucking killed me. I'm fucking part of the ecology. Birds, the whales, the Chinook salmon, the starfish, the seas. All of it. I'm intense as fuck. I'm ruthless because I know. It's all day, every day, and it's intense. I don't want to fucking give it up. Not yet. You know, and so the ecology. I fight for her, she fights for me. It's about diet, it's about rest, it's about erotica, it's about intensity, it's about spirituality, it's about it's about everybody and every fucking thing. And understanding that every single one of us, are part of the ecology. Fighting back on this fucking Great Pacific Genocide, the collapse of the sea, it means everything. Not just for me, for we. You know, the jet stream tells me it's we. The fucking ocean currents tells me it's we. Here by one of my favorite trees. Would you sleep last night? Don't you fucking lie to me. Sipping the dead fucking pines with the sun from Fukushima, Japan. Oh, it always shines. My grandson says, Kevin, Grandpa, my mom and your daughters were all talking. They're like, you're like this intense fire. When somebody comes up and talks to you, it's just like they're riveted to you. And that's why people, there's an energy around you, they pull back because this intense aura that you put out, they can't handle it, it's too strong. He says, I can handle it. I understand that. It's a lonely fucking battle. It's been really lonely. It destroyed me financially. Oh, you don't even fucking know. Thank you everybody who supports historic fucking work. Brian's alive. You know, the stem cell boost is a big fucking deal. You know, the survival rates of cancer have gone way, way up. The amount of cancer has gone way, way up. For Kataiki, I'm thinking this is going to be her savior. I'm thinking this place she's in, you know. I'm sure she'll get a transplant and a stem cell boost. You know, my little nephew. Everybody that's fighting this thing. And we've had some major breakthroughs in treatment. But I'm going to fight against the fuckers that tried to fucking kill you and trying to save you from you as a real motherfucker. So stand tuned. Kevin Blanch. 1%er. Survivor? No, I'm still a fighter. Time will tell, right? Fight is the life. The greatest fight in human history against the scumbags that are trying to kill us all. All fucking animals. All fucking... to the tiniest fucking flea. To the fucking giant fucking gray washed up dead well. For all the ecology.